Hey girls and gals, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my August book haul. Now, after my very large last haul, I learned my lesson. I'm going to be doing monthly hauls. Hopefully I won't have a haul every month because, you know, budgeting. But I do have some books that I'd like to share with you guys that I got this August. So first things first, I'm gonna start with my book of the month picks. I maxed out. Honestly, the max number of the book of the month picks that you can get in any given month is 3 books. I wish you could have gotten more this month. There was honestly so many good books. I know earlier this year, Book of the Month made a pledge to really focus on more diverse books, more debut books by authors from different backgrounds. And I know I wasn't the only person who was actually kind of waiting for that to happen, hoping that they would put, you know, their money where their mouth was. And I'm really glad to see that, at least for the time being, that it's not just like some empty statements, that it's actual change, because all 3 of my books are from debut authors of color, so that was really exciting. The first book that I got, I actually have read already and absolutely loved it, so I would highly recommend that you check this book out, and that is The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson. This is a sci-fi murder mystery, and it has to deal with our futuristic Earth, where we have discovered the secret to going in between different dimensions and going to different versions of Earth, and the caveat for that is that yourself has to be dead in another Earth for you to be able to travel to that world. So this was really good. It's very short, so I'm not going to talk too much about it because it's definitely one where it is a sci-fi. There are some really cool sci-fi elements in here, but it does read a lot like a thriller or like a murder mystery, which is really cool. So there are a bunch of twists and turns in here. The next book that I got is Star Daughter by Shweta Thakkar, and I'm really excited about this one. This is a standalone YA fantasy about a half mortal, half star, and that's our main character right here. And her father becomes ill, and so she has to go into the stars to get the cure. There's apparently some sort of like game or trial going on. I don't know too much about this one, but I'm always in the mood to find more really solid fantasy standalones. And then the third and final book that I got from Book of the Month is The Unraveling of Cassidy Holmes by Alyssa R. Sloan. This one, the author has said, is heavily influenced by her love of the Spice Girls and that sort of kind of celebrity culture of the early 2000s, late 90s, stuff like that, which is really exciting. This one is about a group of women who were the Glosses. So Cassidy Holmes isn't just a celebrity, she's Sassy Gloss, the 4th member of the hottest pop group America has ever seen. So this is exploring fame and kind of the after effects of what a group like that would have on your psyche. This actually starts off with Cassidy committing suicide. So trigger warnings, and what's actually really nice about this one is that there is an author's note at the beginning with trigger warnings, so I'll go ahead and list those out for you guys. But please know that this book has some triggering elements. Its contents include suicide, descriptions of depression and disordered eating, on-page physical assault, off-page sexual assault, body shaming, and body dysmorphia. You are in a vulnerable mind space. Please be gentle with yourself before you continue to read this book. And then it also has the National Suicide Prevention Hotline as well as some other resources, which I thought was really cool because this book does sound really excellent. It does deal with some really tough topics, so I'm really glad to see that author's note at the beginning because that really makes me feel like they're going to be dealt with in a very sensitive way and a respectful manner, and so I am excited to read that and kind of explore, because I'm sure that being that kind of famous and also just being a woman in the public eye is going to impact your mental health a whole lot. I also wanted to quickly point out I really try hard to get all of the authors' names correct, so I do look up, when possible, author interviews and themselves preferably explaining how to pronounce their name or pronouncing their name so that I can get it right on here, because I feel like that's the least we can do. If I do manage to get it wrong, because some of these are debut authors, so some of these pronunciations I could only find through other people introducing the authors on like book talks or something like that, I'm going to go off on a limb and hope that they would have asked the author for the pronunciation so that they could say it right, so that I'm saying it right. but you know, if I miss one or something's just not right and you know the correct pronunciation, leave it down below. I'm not gonna get mad at that. I think it's really important that we do give the correct pronunciations. So just a quick little disclaimer about that there. So that was my book of the month books. Moving on, we are going to go with some books that I picked up at Barnes & Noble. I wasn't going to pick anything up from Barnes & Noble this month, but I finished Crown of Midnight and I wanted to immediately continue on with the Throne of Glass series, and I could not find a copy online of Heir of Fire. So that's this next book. I could not find a copy online that I trusted the condition it would be sent to me in. So I am trying to get all of these used, but for this one I went ahead and did just purchase it new. So this is the third book, or fourth, you know, wherever you count the novellas, in the Throne of Glass series. This is my first time reading this series this year, and it's been such a wonderful escapist series to read. Highly recommend. I mean, I'm sure everyone already knows about Throne of Glass, but this has just been a lot of fun this year when I've kind of needed some lighter reads in between more darker horror fantasy fiction that I normally like. And then this next book is a new release that came out this month, and actually I was reading this book right here and I really enjoyed it, and I'm very picky about sci-fi when it comes to books especially, but after The Space Between Worlds I was really craving some more sci-fi. So I heard about this one and I wanted to pick it up because this one's actually the first one in a series, and I heard it was a really good, really diverse space opera, so I had to pick it up. You know, I'm a Star Wars fan, I hear space opera, I am intrigued. So that is going to be The First Sister by Lyndon A. Lewis. First of all, this cover looks incredible. Love the gold Art Deco sort of statue figurine there. It really reminds me of, if you're familiar with Cleveland, like the Guardians, kind of that sort of architecture. Really cool. But this is a space opera, and the author, Lyndon Lewis, they have led quite a life. Just looking at like the little author blurb back here, it says they've played a walker on the second ever episode of The Walking Dead. That's really cool. And then it says, tall and tattooed, Lyndon exists only because society has stopped burning witches. So they sound really cool. This book sounds really cool. It's part high-flying space opera, part twisty, compelling drama, and part topical social commentary. Start of a new series. I'm looking forward to picking this one up and seeing what it's all about because I've been hearing wonderful things. And then last, but certainly not least, I have my half-price books collection. I was not planning either on going to Half Price Books this month. It just kind of happened. We were actually in like a different neighborhood than where we usually are, and they had a Half Price Books it's like 30 minutes away from us usually. We had the opportunity to go to it. I'm so glad we did. This, you know, I think we might have to make this one be our one that we normally go to because the selection was insane, as you'll see in a couple seconds here. So the first book that I got is this Scary Stories Treachery, and this is all three of the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark books. Early 2000s kid here. I feel like a lot of us, especially a lot of us who are now super into spooky stuff, really loved this series as a kid. I specifically remember, listen, I was always too scared to check these out because, as you can tell by the illustrations, they're very spooky. I don't know if this would be published for kids now because the illustrations are truly horrifying. I mean, I know this is the one that's on the front cover, but like that's terrifying. But I remember I used to go to the library with my friends after school and we would read through these in the library and we would not check them out because they were horrifying. But I really loved them too. I knew I always wanted this in my collection, but I have noticed the past couple times I've been to like Target or the bookstore, they've actually had movie covers or different illustrations all together. I haven't seen the original illustrations in a while. I don't know if that's just the cover or if it's also the creatures inside, but just these illustrations are so cool. They scared the pants off of me. I guess I want them to scare the pants off my future kids. I don't know, but I saw this bind up and I knew I wanted to get it because I love these and I wanted to make sure that I have the original illustrations. I absolutely love them. I actually haven't seen the movie yet. I did not hear the best things about it, but I mean, the monsters did look cool. I've read these many, many times, but I might have to break into it in October because this is such a nostalgic read for me. The next book I have is Sarah J. Maas's Tower of Dawn. This is one of the later books in the Throne of Glass series. or actually I don't know if it's in the main series because I think it just follows Kale. Okay, it says, yeah, it says this is a parallel novel to Empire of Storms. So wherever Empire of Storms is in Throne of Glass, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th book. This is adjacent to the 5th book. I told y'all already I am trying to buy these used whenever possible. This is in really good condition, so I'm not at this place in the series yet, but when I am, I will have a copy ready to go for that. Next up, we have Gyo by Junji Ito. I'm excited about this. This is a horror manga. I have read Junji Ito before. Here is the opening pages because I don't want to give anything else away. But Junji Ito is kind of the king of horror manga, so I've never actually owned any of his mangas. I've only checked them out from the library, so I'm excited to have this one again secondhand. So it cost a lot less than if you were to go to a full price store and buy a manga. And this is the really cool recently released black edition. So I'm very excited. I believe Gyo is about some sort of fish. And I haven't actually read this one yet, so this is definitely either going to be on my September or my October TBR. And then it can't really be a book haul on my channel, especially one this close to Halloween, without some Stephen King. And I got some really good Stephen King books at this Half Price Books. Let me tell you, the first one I got is Dolores Claiborne, and this one I'm really excited about because, first of all, deckled edges. I love deckled edges. I know people either love them or they hate them. I just can't get enough of them. Secondly, this one has a library sticker in it, and obviously the name is blacked out, but I can still kind of see. I'm not going to show you guys because, I mean, it was blacked out for a reason before someone gave it to a Half Price Books, but this is just from someone else's library, and I think that's so cool. That's part of the reason why I love getting secondhand books, is because they tell a story like that. And I have never read Dolores Claiborne, nor do I know that much about it. I really enjoy, there's like moon signs up here, moon faces, sun faces. Yeah, this is gonna be a good time. It's in excellent condition as well. Cannot complain about that. And I think this was like $5? Something like that. And this next one, I saw this on the shelf, you know, just browsing through, having a good time. I saw this and panicked. Picked it up. I was like, surely something has to be terribly wrong for this. I'm looking through it. Nothing wrong. I'm like, maybe the dust jacket is wrong. Maybe the price is wrong. This doesn't seem real, but it is real. Because I now own the Bachman books by Richard Bachman, Stephen King. This is a big deal because Rage is out of print. It was in this collection. It has since been pulled, honestly, probably for good reason, because I know King doesn't shy away from writing controversial things and keeping them in print, but this one was about a school shooter. So King decided to pull Rage because he did not want to in any way endorse or encourage or really just propagandize school shootings. So I totally get that call. I have been trying to collect all of King's books, and I honestly never even thought that I was going to find the Bachman books. Because if you look online, they are pretty pricey. They tend to be pretty pricey. I had just kind of thought it wasn't in the cards. I was never going to read it. I was never going to own it. That was going to be okay because The Long Walk, Roadwork, and The Running Man are the other 3 books in this bind up, and you can find all of them. So I was just not content, but I was okay with just finding those separately and reading them and just kind of accepting Rage as that question mark. But now I have this, and I'm so excited. And honestly, you know, I probably am not even going to like Rage. I haven't actually read any of the Bachman books yet, which is crazy. Because some of these are pretty well known. I feel like, especially The Running Man and The Long Walk. Do they both have adaptations, movie adaptations? I don't know. But I feel like those, like, a lot of people do know about them. They know about them as Stephen King works. I just have never read them. And now I have no excuse not to because I own this book. So I'm definitely going to be reading this, I'm pretty sure in September. And I'm going to be making a full reading vlog on it because I just think it's going to be an experience. But this is probably my most exciting book that I have in this whole entire haul because I never thought I was going to own it. Because again, I'm big into Stephen King, but I was not looking to spend like $100 on a book, and I didn't have to. I straight up got it at a steal of a price. So not only is my constant reader heart happy, but also my bargain hunter heart is happy as well. So catch me geeking out about this for the next year, most of my life. Probably. That is going to bring us to the end of this video. Leave a comment down below if you'd like me to prioritize any of these books over others. Let me know if you want to see any of them in a dedicated reading vlog, or just leave a comment down below letting me know how much you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content from me. Stay safe, stay well. So glad you're here, and I will catch y'all in my next video. Bye!